The gift of love, a journey beyond fear. Mira sat by the ocean, the waves rolling in with rhythmic certainty. The salty breeze kissed her cheeks as she wrapped her arms around herself, lost in thought. Love. It had always felt like a distant dream, something just out of reach. She had spent her life searching for it in others, believing that love was something to be earned, proven, or given in return for good behaviour. But lately, something inside of her was shifting. The old ways of love, conditional, transactional, and filled with longing, no longer made sense. She had spent years waiting for someone to love her completely, to see her, to choose her. But what if she had been looking in the wrong place all along? What if love wasn't something to be found, but something to become? Mira closed her eyes and placed a hand on her heart. A voice, gentle and knowing, rose from within. You are love. You always have been. A tear slid down her cheek. Could it be so simple? Could love exist within her, without conditions, without needing someone else to love her? Mira's thoughts drifted back to her childhood, to the times she felt she had to be perfect to be loved. When she succeeded, love seemed abundant. When she failed, love felt distant. She realised that she had learned to equate love with approval, with being good enough. But love wasn't approval. Love wasn't a prize. Love was a presence, a state of being that never left, never wavered, never needed validation. She opened her eyes, gazing at the vastness of the sea. Love is all there is. Everything else is fear. The thought settled into her bones. The fear of being unworthy, of being abandoned, of not being enough. None of it was real. It was merely a story her mind had created, built from the old wounds and outdated beliefs. Love had never left her. She had simply been looking away. As the sun dipped lower, Mira decided to try something new. She breathed in deeply, imagining a soft pink light filling her chest. With every inhale, she let love expand within her. With every exhale, she released fear. She whispered, I trust I am a channel of love and wisdom. My higher self guides me at all times. And then something magical happened. A warmth spread throughout her body, a deep knowing that she was safe, whole, and loved, without conditions, without needing to earn it. The fear faded into the background, dissolving into the infinite ocean of love that she had always been part of. Days turned into weeks and Mira's life began to shift. She no longer sought love outside of herself, hoping someone would complete her. Instead, she radiated love. She no longer saw relationships as transactions where love was exchanged for kindness or validation. Instead, she loved freely, without expectation. She found that when she lived in love, everything around her transformed. Conversations softened, frustrations faded. Even when others were unkind, she no longer took it personally. She understood that people could only live the love that they had for themselves. Instead of reacting, she held space, knowing that their pain was not hers to carry. She became devoted to her purpose, to embody love in every moment. If something did not feel like love, she adjusted, shifting her thoughts, her energy, or her focus until she returned to her centre. Mira had heard whispers of a great shift, of humanity moving from the age of Pisces to the age of Aquarius, and she felt it in her bones. The old paradigm of love, one built on sacrifice, longing, and external validation, was fading. A new way was emerging, one rooted in self-love, authenticity, and freedom. Love was no longer about proving worthiness or fulfilling roles assigned by society. It was about being, about choosing love in every moment, regardless of circumstance. She smiled, remembering how the waves crashed and receded, just as love had once felt in her life, coming and going, unpredictable and fleeting. But now she understood. Love was the ocean itself, vast and endless. The waves were simply experiences rising and falling. But love had always been there underneath it all, within it all. One evening, Mira sat with an old friend who was struggling with heartbreak. He sighed, "I just don't understand why love always slips away." Mira took his hand gently and said, "Love never slips away. It only feels lost when we search for it outside of ourselves. But love isn't something we find, it's what we are." He looked at her, his eyes filled with both curiosity and skepticism. "But what if I never find someone who loves me back the way I want?" She smiled. "First, begin by caring about how you feel. Love yourself the way that you wish to be loved. Then, love others without condition, without needing anything in return. This is not about tolerating or being compliant. It's about allowing all things to be as they are, without judgment. And that begins with you. If you expect someone or something to change in order for you to feel loved, ask yourself, how did it feel when someone wanted you to change for their comfort? Tears welled up in his eyes, and he nodded slowly as if something ancient and forgotten had been remembered. Mira went on and said, "You are beginning to understand your needs, allowing you to set clear, intentional boundaries. Remember, boundaries are not walls to keep you safe, but agreements that invite deeper understanding. When we express our needs with clarity and without judgment, we offer others the opportunity to love us in ways that align with our true selves. But this can only happen when we take the time to know ourselves, to honour and understand our own needs. That is the essence of self-love." Mira took a deep breath in and out, and she suddenly realised that she had stepped fully into a new reality. She had become love, and in doing so had inspired another. She had found her purpose, and it was hidden in her name all along. She had become the mirror. She now understood that the world around her reflected her inner world, revealing what she was projecting and attracting. By embracing this awareness, she could see through the eyes of love, neutral, wise, and open. She no longer needed to understand why everything was happening. Instead, she could gain insight from each experience without taking it personally. Challenges and joys alike became opportunities for growth. Love had made her wiser, more resilient, and free.